I heard Sarah on the phone telling her lover Michael has no idea about anything. What a stupid husband. I smiled because at that moment I was making my own phone call. Elena, Sarah has no idea about our plan. Tonight we're revealing everything. My name is Michael Rodriguez. I'm 42 years old, and this story shows that cheating in marriage isn't always what we think it is. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know which city you're listening from in the comments. Sarah and I met 8 years ago. Back then I was newly divorced, a single father raising 2 children alone. Sarah worked at an advertising agency, creative and energetic. I was very impressed the first time I saw her. She was beautiful, intelligent and full of life. Our relationship developed quickly. Sarah got along wonderfully with my children. Emma was 10, Jake was 8, and they needed a new mother. Sarah treated them like a real mother. We got married after 6 months. Our first years were wonderful. Sarah was successful at work. I had gotten promoted at my software company. Our financial situation was good. On weekends we went on family trips, attended the children's school events together. We looked like a perfect family. But 3 years ago, things started to change. Sarah started staying late at work more often, going to the office on weekends for urgent projects. Her phone was constantly ringing, receiving messages. She would tell me they were from clients, but the tone in her voice was different. My first suspicion was the night we met David Kellerman. He was the owner of a real estate development company that was Sarah's agency's new client. We met at a cocktail party we hosted at our house. He was 45 years old, handsome, wealthy and single. That night I noticed how Sarah looked at David. There was a sparkle in her eyes I'd never seen when she looked at me. When talking with David, she became a different person, more lively, more feminine. But my real suspicion started 2 years ago. Sarah's behavior completely changed. When she came home, she was tired and distant. She was constantly busy with her phone. Even when talking with me, she seemed to be somewhere else. One day, Emma's teacher accidentally called Sarah's phone. Since Sarah was in the shower, I answered. The teacher said, "Mrs. Rodriguez." David asked whether he'll be attending the school event. I was surprised because David wasn't part of our family. When I questioned Sarah, she said, "Oh, David is my business partner. Sometimes he attends our family events." But there was something strange in her tone. After this, I started being more careful. When charging Sarah's phone, I would see incoming messages. She was receiving messages like, "Can we meet tonight? Yesterday was a wonderful night." The sender was always saved as D. One day I found a restaurant receipt in Sarah's purse, an expensive Italian restaurant. The date was last Tuesday night, and Sarah had said she had a late meeting that night. The receipt was for 2 people. I was starting to be certain Sarah was cheating on me with David, but instead of confronting her directly, I chose a different path. Because I wasn't just afraid of losing Sarah, I didn't want the children to suffer either. During this period, I reconnected with my old friend Elena Santos. Elena was a friend from high school, now working as a private detective. We met at a cafe, and I explained the situation. "Michael, are you sure? Maybe you're misunderstanding," Elena said. "Elena, I've been married to Sarah for 8 years. I know her normal behavior. This is different." Elena made me an offer. "If you want, I can follow Sarah. We'll find out what she's doing." I hesitated at first, but eventually agreed. Elena was professional and would be careful. A week later, Elena called me. "Michael, we need to meet. It's urgent." When I met with Elena, her face was serious. She had a thick file in her hand. "Michael, Sarah is really having a relationship with David, but the situation is much more complex than you think." I opened the file. Inside were photos of Sarah and David together, restaurant receipts, hotel records. "How long has this been going on?" I asked. "At least 18 months. But Michael, there are things you need to know about David." Elena showed me the results of her research about David's past. David Kellerman wasn't just a real estate developer. He was also a professional scammer who targeted married women. David has had relationships with 6 different married women so far. Every time the same pattern. He impresses the woman, makes her fall in love, then steals her money. I was shocked. "Does Sarah have money?" "Michael, Sarah has bank accounts you don't know about. Inheritance from her mother, stock shares from her old workplace, about $350,000 total. I had no idea about this information. Sarah had never mentioned it to me. And worse," Elena continued, "David is pressuring Sarah to leave you. He's telling Sarah that she's cheating on you and should get divorced." My world was collapsing. I wasn't just being cheated on. I was also being scammed. "What do you suggest I do?" I asked Elena. "You have a few options. You can confront them directly, or you can show Sarah David's true face." That night at home, I watched Sarah. She was acting normal, but I could see the expression on her face when she looked at her phone, her smile when David's messages came, her coldness when talking with me. I made my decision. I would protect Sarah from David's true face, but while doing this, I would also show that I knew she was cheating on me. Elena and I made a plan. I would play my own cheating game with Sarah. Elena would play the role of my girlfriend. We would make Sarah jealous, make her question her relationship with David. Then we would reveal David's real plan. The plan was this. I would imply to Sarah that I was seeing Elena. When Sarah became suspicious, I would show her the truth about David's past. Monday evening when I came home, Sarah was preparing dinner in the kitchen. It seemed like a normal evening. "Sarah, I want to tell you something," I said. "What is it?" Her tone was disinterested. "I've been very stressed lately. Maybe we should take a break." Sarah turned and looked at me. I saw a kind of relief in her eyes. "What do you mean, Michael?" "I don't know, maybe we should stay apart for a few days. You could stay at your mother's, I could stay at a friend's." Sarah thought about it. "Maybe that would be good." I was thinking the same thing. I smiled inside. Sarah wouldn't miss this opportunity. That night Sarah really went to her mother's. I called Elena too. "Elena, the plan is starting. Tomorrow night let's meet at Sarah's favorite restaurant. Sarah will be somewhere else with David at that time." Tuesday evening I met Elena at Marino's Italian restaurant. It was a place Sarah went to often. The plan was, one of Sarah's friends would see us and tell her. While eating with Elena we talked. "Michael, will this plan work?" she asked. "Elena, I may seem like I'm protecting Sarah, but I also need to show that I know she's cheating on me." Just then Sarah's friend Lisa entered the restaurant. She saw us and was surprised. I sat close to Elena. We laughed, acted intimate. Lisa must have called Sarah immediately, because 20 minutes later Sarah was calling me on the phone. "Michael, where are you?" "Having dinner with a friend." "Why? Which friend?" "Elena, you don't know her." There was panic in Sarah's voice. "Michael, we need to talk." "Sure, we'll talk tomorrow." I hung up. Elena was laughing. "You should have seen Sarah's reaction," Elena said. She was very surprised when Lisa called her. The next evening Sarah came home. Her face was tense, worried. "Michael, who did you have dinner with last night?" "I told you, with Elena." "Who is this Elena?" "My old friend. She works in the city now." Sarah sat down. "Michael, is this true? Are you cheating on me?" I laughed inside. Sarah was cheating on me, then accusing me. "Sarah, aren't you going to ask if you're cheating on me?" "What do you mean by that?" "I'm asking about your relationship with David Kellerman." Silence. Sarah looked shocked. "Michael, David is just my business partner." "Sarah, you've been seeing him for 18 months. Secret meetings, romantic dinners, hotel reservations." Sarah's mouth fell open. Did you have me followed?" "Sarah, you cheated on me for 18 months. I also turned to someone I newly met." Sarah started crying. "Michael, Sarah, it's too late to talk now, but there are things you need to know about David." I took out the file and put it in front of her. "David Kellerman is a professional scammer. You think the love you experienced with him is real, but he's only after your money." Sarah started opening the file. She saw David's past marriage records, photos with other women, fraud charges. This isn't possible," she whispered. "Sarah, David doesn't love you. He wants your money. He knows about your $350,000 inheritance." Sarah was in shock. "How do you know about my inheritance?" "Sarah, we've been married for 8 years. I didn't know you had a secret bank account." "Michael, Sarah, did David tell you to divorce me?" Sarah bowed her head. "Yes. And after the divorce you planned to run away with him with the money." "Yes," she whispered. Now the whole truth was out there. Sarah had planned to leave me for David, but David was using her for money. "So what happens now?" Sarah asked. "Sarah, you need to make a choice. After learning the truth about David, will you continue with him, or will you try to save this marriage?" Sarah thought for a long time. "Michael, I made a very big mistake, but didn't you also cheat on me with Elena?" I smiled. "Sarah, I don't have a relationship with Elena. She's my old friend and a private detective. We worked together to protect you." "What?" "Sarah, I knew you were with David, but I also realized you were being scammed. Elena showed me David's true face." Sarah started crying. "So you never cheated on me?" "No, Sarah, I was just trying to protect you." At that moment Sarah's phone rang. It was David. "Answer it," I said. "Put it on speaker." Sarah answered the phone. "Sarah, darling, are you ready? Tomorrow we're going to the bank to transfer the money. Then we're running away to Mexico." Sarah looked at me. There was no love in David's voice, just excitement. "David, what do you think about my marriage?" Sarah asked. "Sarah, Michael doesn't deserve you. You're too beautiful and smart. You'll be much happier with me. And of course you'll have financial security." "Financial security?" "Sarah, with your inheritance we'll expand my business. We'll be a perfect team." Sarah hung up and started crying. "Michael, what a stupid woman I am. I thought David really loved me." "Sarah, you thought you were in love, that's normal. So what do we do now?" "Now we're going to stop David." I called Elena. "Elena, David is going to do bank transactions tomorrow. Are you ready?" "I'm ready, Michael. The police have been informed too." The next day Sarah went to meet David, but this time she carried a hidden recording device. The plan was, we would record David's intention to commit fraud. Sarah met David at the bank. David was very excited. "Sarah, with this much money I can double my business. Then we'll get married and buy a villa in Miami." "David, how will my divorce process from Michael go?" "Sarah, I have a divorce lawyer. You'll get maximum compensation from Michael. House, car, alimony, everything. Sarah had started the recording device. What about Michael's children? Sarah, they're not our problem. In our new life there's only you and me. Sarah was seeing David's true face. The man was only thinking about money. He didn't care about the children. David, instead of investing this money in your business, can't we make other investments? Sarah, let the money go to my business. I'm an expert, I know what's best. Just then Elena and 2 police officers came to the bank. David Kellerman, you're under arrest for fraud. David was shocked. He looked at Sarah. Sarah, did you report me? David, I learned the truth. You didn't love me, you just wanted my money. As David was being put in the police car, he was shouting at Sarah, Sarah, you went back to that husband of yours. He doesn't deserve you. When Sarah came home, we were both very tired. We sat in the kitchen. Michael, I did you a great wrong. Sarah, you were deceived. David was very manipulative, but I cheated on you for 18 months. How can this be forgiven? Sarah, forgiveness isn't easy, but when you learnt the truth, you made the right decision. So what happens now? Sarah, this marriage has been very damaged. Rebuilding trust will take time. Sarah cried. Michael, I don't want to lose you. You and the children are my real family. Sarah, if you really want to save this marriage, we need to start couples therapy. I accept. The following months weren't easy. Sarah's cheating affected both of us greatly, but we started talking in couples therapy. Sarah explained why she turned to David. Michael, in recent years the emotional bond between us had weakened. David showed me a lot of attention, made me feel special. I also admitted my mistakes. Sarah, maybe I was too focused on work. I neglected you. The therapist gave us exercises to rebuild trust, honesty, communication, spending quality time. 6 months later, David's trial took place. Sarah and other victims testified. David was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Sarah said after the trial, Michael, David's punishment brought justice, but what's really important is that we saved our marriage. Today, 2 years after that incident, Sarah and I have a stronger marriage. Cheating is never an easy thing, but sometimes people get manipulated. What's important is making the right decision after seeing the truth. Sarah now shares all her accounts with me. The lesson David taught her, secrecy destroys trust. Elena is still our friend. Sarah thanks her a lot. Elena, I'm very grateful that you protected Michael and made me aware of David's true face, she says. This story taught me this. Cheating in marriage isn't always what we think it is. Sometimes people make wrong decisions for wrong reasons, but real love also requires forgiveness and giving second chances. If you like this story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know which city you're listening from in the comments. Click on the box on the left for the next story.